y'all, it's Marianne from the Rockin' RV Adventures. Got a good video for you today. It's an important one. Your life could depend on it. How to be safe in all types of weathers. So I did make notes, as I usually do, because I don't want to miss any important steps. So I want to keep you all safe, especially when you're out there traveling. And even if you're not, we just want you safe. So let's get into today's video. So these are just suggestions and stuff that we do when we're traveling and even when we're stationary. So number one, as an RVer, it's essential to be weather-wise. Gotta be smart about these kind of things. To be safe and a successful RVer, you need to be something of a weather bug. We have several apps on our phone with different weather apps. We not only look at where we're at, we look down the road to where we're going. We just want to make sure that we're not running into any bad weather. So always look at your apps and check the weather ahead of you. It can be a lot different being out in an RV versus being in a sticks and bricks. So just want you safe. So it can be treacherous when you're traveling and you run into bad weather. During your trip planning, acquaint yourself with the climate and typical weather patterns you can expect. For example, when it's tornado season in the Midwest, don't want to be stuck going down through Tornado Alley if there's going to be some bad weather or a tornado coming in, like the Florida or the Gulf Coast. And how late in the fall can you travel in some of the colder states, like upstate New York, the New England states? When does the snow come in, or Montana? So you need to kind of have an idea when you need to get out of the area so you don't get caught in a snowstorm. We have learned never to allow our schedule to become such a priority that we take chances with the weather. Reservations can be rescheduled. You might get charged a fee for not showing up, but it's better safe than sorry. You can't put a price on your life. You just can't. So you can always change your destination. It's simply not worth taking a chance. And your safety of yourselves and your rig pushing on in bad weather. We never travel into an area where thunderstorms are forecast. Rain, even moderate rainfall, can be inconvenient, unpleasant. However, thunderstorms can bring challenges of their own. Destructive winds, hail, torrential rains, even tornadoes. And we've discovered that more than once. We were in Ogallala, Nebraska. I hope I said that right. It was such a cute town. And we pulled in and the weather was okay. Took the dogs for a walk, but as evening came on, thunderstorms hit. And they were the worst thunderstorm. It was the worst thunderstorm I have ever been through. Our rig was shaking. The dogs were scared. I was scared. And I was praying, Lord, get us through this safely. And I prayed for the people that were in tents that were at the campground. Sorry, the air conditioner just kicked on if you can hear it. I got to keep the fur babies cool. We have the air conditioner running and we have the dehumidifier running, so the air conditioner doesn't have to work as hard because it pulls the moisture out of the air. We've been having like 3 weeks or better of rain off and on in upstate New York. Anyways, I got off topic a little bit, but that's okay. So the people in the tents at the campground actually had their tents blown away and they ended up sleeping in their cars. But thank God they were fine. Trees came down. So always be aware of the weather that's coming and be prepared. We even have a generator that we carry with us should, the power go out. And we've had that happen a few times and we've had to use it. Plus we have our generator for when we're boondocking, but that's another video. So we were in Shreveport, Louisiana, and it was a horrible storm came through there. And we were first newbies on the road, so this was 6 years ago. And the campground manager said, you might want to stay another night. There's some bad storms coming. And I wish we had taken her advice because going down the road, it was horrible. Even with the windshield wipers going full blast, it was hard to see the road. We ended up stopping in Milton, Florida, and the campground was flooded. They moved us to the higher ground where we were supposed to be, but still it was underwater. And it was scary because we had to walk through the water to plug in the electrical pedestal wasn't a good feeling. So next time we stay put. So always be careful and plan ahead. We also try to travel with the seasons. It's a hard lesson we learned early on in our adventures. We left California in June of 2016, closed the horse ranch, closed the animal rescue, house was sold, ranch was sold, and went on the road. First day out, it was June, and we went 22 miles and blew a tire. Okay, we didn't know about the China bombs back then. We certainly do now, but that's another video. So we got up to the high desert. It was 114 degrees and the truck broke down. And it was a bad situation all around. The dogs were overheating. I was overheating. I was misting the dogs with a spray bottle. We had the generator with us, but the cord was too short to get to the generator because the generator was in the back of the truck. Then it took 2 tow trucks to get us back to our old ranch. And thank God that some of our friends had moved into the ranch, and we have an RV, complete RV setup at our old ranch. So thankfully it was only a blown O-ring. So now we don't travel in the high temperatures or the hot seasons. So we try and do our travel when it's colder temperatures, cooler temperatures. So we're not in the desert in the heat of summer. So that was a lesson learned for us. That was a newbie mistake that we made. Breaking down on the side of the road was a horrible experience. Another thing, we never travel after dark. Sometimes if you're traveling and it's a cooler area, and you'll see signs that say bridge freezes before road, and you can't see black ice. So just be careful. We just don't travel after dark, and it's challenging to unhook your rig or back into a site after dark. So we use what's called Brad's rule. Brad is a friend of ours that we met the first day out. The second time out on our first day. And we had driven 11 hours through the desert in Arizona and ended up in Benson, Arizona. And we weren't speaking by then. Dogs were hot, I was miserable. So Brad saw that we were having some challenges and weren't speaking to each other at that point, which does happen when you're in small square footage. But anyway, so Brad told my husband, can I give you guys some advice? And my husband Mike said, yes, that would be most welcome at this point. He said, never go more than 300 miles or past 3 o'clock in the day, and you two will stay married. Well, we follow Brad's rule. We like to get in early, before dark. We back in, and I do all the backing because I'm a better backer. Seriously though, I am. I can back better than Mike. But again, I drove tractor trailer in the service. And I pulled horse trailers all over Southern California. So I do all the backing for marital harmony, and he does all the forward. Of course, I can do the forward as well, but it's kind of nice. He can drive, and I can map out and see where we're going. So these are just some tips that we've learned on the road, especially when we were newbies. So we never pull into a campground if we can help it after dark, just because there's too many obstacles and backing in or pulling in, and it's just better. You want to be able to have a relaxing dinner and be fresh for your next day if you're going back out on the road. We've seen people pull in after dark, run over their utilities, run over the curb, hit the trees, and by then they're screaming at each other, and it's just not a good scene. And it's heartbreaking to hear them because they just put a great big old ding in their gorgeous motorhome or their travel trailer or whatever it is they're pulling. So it can be difficult. Another thing to consider is treacherous weather can be made worse by reduced visibility after dark. It will be more difficult to see obstacles, such as downed trees and flooding areas after the sun goes down. So if the conditions are less than ideal, we stay put for an extra day. Foggy conditions is another thing. If it's going to be foggy early morning and the visibility is not great, we'll set out for a couple extra hours and then head out. Because you just don't want to be driving in the dense fog. You can't see, visibility is awful, and it's just not worth taking the risk. So once the fog starts to burn off or is gone, then we hit the road. So we make a practice to pay very close attention to wind advisories. Both the wind speed and the direction are important when you're traveling. Whether you're in an RV that you're driving, like a Class A, Class B, Class C, or you're towing a travel trailer. The crosswinds can push you all over the road. We've seen tractor trailers get overturned. So we try and be careful and watch the wind. Another thing with wind that most people don't realize is how strong they are. I mean, even at the RV park, I've seen people leave their awnings out and a big gust of wind will come and just shred that thing and throw it up over the camper. And so that's a pretty costly mistake. So we make a practice when we leave, we bring our awnings in. If we're not there to supervise our awnings being out, they are brought in. I would rather bring them in and not have an issue than to leave them out and take a chance, because it's a costly expense if you have to replace your awnings. Not something we want to do. So if we're traveling and it is windy, if it's up to 30-mile-an-hour gust, we stay put. We stay put another extra day. You don't want to be fighting your steering wheel the whole way or taking a chance of getting blown across the road or out of your lane. It's just not worth it. And there's blowing sand. In New Mexico, there's signs, do, pull over, because when they have the blowing sands, it's zero visibility. That's something you don't want to go through. And it can damage your RV by the sand hitting your RV and your vehicle and rocks and whatever else. So I think that's all I wanted to really talk to you about. I just wanted to keep you guys safe. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your RV adventure. But remember, you're never guaranteed another day, another hour. So with that, I want to say God bless y'all. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Help us grow our channel. And as always, leave it better than you found it. Make it a great day. God bless. We'll see you on the next video. Oh, I just wanted to add, here's a picture. May of 2020 snowstorm. And this was just a couple of weeks ago. That looks like a road going in front of the picnic tables. It's actually flooding. So just expect the unexpected. I wanted to share that with you. As always, God bless. We'll see you on the next go round.